Hi everyone, it's Margaret with Creative Stamping with Margaret. I'm so excited. Today is May 1st, and that means that the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog has gone live. So today I'm able to open the interior of the catalog and show you different images. And I thought it would be good to do a walkthrough of the catalog since Stampin' Up! Has changed the format. But before I start that, I just want to say that if you don't have the new catalog and aren't working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please just leave me a comment and I will reach out to you after this presentation and see about getting one of these beautiful catalogs mailed out to you. Okay, so now on to our walkthrough. As you will notice, the cover of the catalog this year looks different from catalogs in the past. It really reminds me of a magazine, and I think that that's what Stampin' Up! Was trying to do to make this look more like a magazine. And I just think it's beautiful. So enough on the cover, let's get to the inside. So of course we have, just like in the past, we have our little welcome comments from Sarah and Shelley. But then we have a nice table of contents which will help direct you to the different things in the catalog. And then the first section that we have is called Step-by-Step Crafting. And that brings in and talks about the kits collection. Of course, kits aren't listed in the annual catalog, but can be found online in the kits section. And the reason that they've not put individual kits in here for you to order is because every month we get 2 new kits and it's constantly changing. So they're perfect products to go and purchase online. And of course, this is just a reminder that Stampin' Up! Has a kits collection, and in the kits there's all the materials that you need for creating different projects. And of course it's a reminder about Paper Pumpkin, which is the monthly subscription kit that you can order. Next, we go into our quick and easy options. One thing about this new catalog is Stampin' Up! Has taken some time to think about different crafters. We have new people that this may be their first time starting to do paper crafting. And then we move into more intermediate or advanced. And Stampin' Up! Has really thought of each of our different needs and address them in the catalog. And I think it looks so much like a magazine with the format. And so in our quick and easy options, this is for all levels of crafters, but it really does identify somebody that's just starting out. Because what it does is it brings in mix and match. They tell you to start with your cards and envelopes, which I have a set here, this one that they've highlighted. And I mean, these are gorgeous. You just, when you need a quick and easy card, whether you're a beginner or you're short, or whether you've been crafting for years and years, we all get busy and run short of time. So these make it perfect for creating projects with. And then, of course, we've got the Amphera packs. So you can pull in one of those. And I have several of those packs. And it's wonderful because Some of them have the sentiments for you. Then here are different tags or layering panels. And then, of course, we also have our little different embellishment pieces. And then, of course, the flowers. So you pull something from that, put it on the card, and voila, you have a completed card. And then Stampin' Up! Also has brought in sentiments that really say it all, that are simple. Like this one is Simply Said. And then they have more samples on the following pages to give you ideas. I just think that's wonderful because all of these components you can find on the page in front. And I skipped over this page before I got here, but if you're a new crafter, Stampin' Up! Lists top 10 things to help you get started. And I just think that is wonderful that they thought of that, because it pretty much is like, how many times do you go, what do I need? And you get overwhelmed. By doing the top 10, this really helps narrow down what your first order should be. And then they get into basic card design, talking about stamping a sentiment, layering with paper, and then attaching it to the cardstock base. So Stampin' Up! Has really turned the catalog also into a teaching tool. So sort of think of it as a teaching tool, and in addition to the catalog, because they do, and you'll see as we progress through our walkthrough, that there is a lot that they have really put in here to help crafters of all levels. But even better, and this is on page 22, they've got a little section called A Little Inspiration. And here there are layouts for cards, and you can use those layouts to create cards. And you'll see some of these layouts displayed throughout the catalog. And I actually have one from a team member. We recently had a team meeting, and we had our swap, and a team member made a gorgeous card using this one of the drawings, which is the lower left, as her inspiration for creating this card. And I'll talk more about some of the materials on here as we get deeper into the catalog as well. And of course, Stampin' Up! Talks about their color coordination and the different families. And of course, we have more samples. If you are a scrapbooker, Stampin' Up! Has included a section on memories and more, which is great for creating scrapbooks. And now we get into Creativity Your Way, which is, as they say, a wide range of coordinating products, tools, and techniques to put you in full creative control. So in this first section, you will find all of our suite collection. And with a suite collection, there is one number at the top that enables you to order all of the products that you see. For example, in this Mediterranean Blooms, for the suite collection, that would be the ordering number, and that includes the stamp set, the coordinating dies, the embellishments, and the designer series paper. Now, if you don't want to order all of those, they do have individual item numbers down in the lower section of the page, so you could just order what you want from this particular suite. And of course, they've added new suites. And as you see, there's quite a few, and the designer paper that goes with them. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. Let me just show you a card that was also from the team meeting, and she used the designer series paper, and that is absolutely gorgeous. I actually have a pack. Let me reach over, and you can just see these prints are just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you could frame those. They are so pretty. And of course, the backs give you lots of option as well. So, and then we have two very large collections in this sweets collection. We have Country Woods, and with the Country Woods, you get 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, 2 different designer series papers, embellishments, an embossing folder, and 2 different colors of ribbon. And to make ordering easy, there again we have just the one ordering number. But just like as I pointed out earlier, individual products are listed below as well, because once you get the suite and you get creative, you're going to need to order more paper and embellishments. And I do have a card, another card that was a team member created, and she used the Country Birdhouse. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I just love that. And she used the different papers and just created a beautiful card. I predict this is going to be very popular. There are lots of bird lovers. And then this is another of the large suites, and that's the Unbounded Beauty. And there again, we have 2 different stamp sets, one that is images only, and one which is sentiments only, that go to in this suite. And of course, we have coordinating dies. And then again, we have embellishments. And in this one, it includes in color shimmer paper, because this suite uses a lot of the new in colors, the 5 in colors, which we'll talk about shortly. And then, of course, the large 12 by 12 designer series paper. And then the next section, they're calling it Perfectly Precise, and that's with our embossing cutting machines. So we have the mini and then the large, and then we get into some of our bundles. And a bundle, as you notice, includes 10% off. So you can order here. The bundle includes the stamp set and the decorative mask and the die set. So Stampin' Up! Has thought of everything by giving us one number, and that way we're not having to fill out each of the different ones. Although you can, if you only want the stamp set, you can do that. But with this, we just put the one number down, and it gives us a 10% discount, and it makes ordering a whole lot easier. And something new that they've added this year is you have the option on these 2 bundles, whether you want the dies. For instance, with this labeled with love, you can either get the die, which the die set has 3 labels, or the punch. And here we have the keeping tabs. You may get either the tabs die or the tabs punch. And there again, inside the large box with the 10% off are the numbers for ordering each of the sets. So you would just, if you want the stamp set and die, you would use the number in the front. And then for this stamp set and punch, you would use that other number. So I just wanted to point that out, that they do have that, so that you're not individually ordering each one, because by ordering as a bundle, you do save the 10%. And of course, we have more of the bundles. They've really added some nice bundles. Every time I see this, I laugh. I love the old-timey TV. And then this Spotlight on Nature, this is the one that the was given as a swap at our team meeting. She used the Spotlight on Nature, and of course, as I pointed out from page 22, the inspiration was one of the card samples that card sketches that Stampin' Up added. But this is lovely with the dies and the different shapes. And then she used a new embossing folder to create texture. And as you see, we have more bundles. All of these in this section that are highlighted with the larger are all new bundles that have been added. But now we've moved on to our Encore section. And here, these are returning products that were in last year's annual catalog or the mini catalog that just retired. So they have brought back these items, and example, this Beach Day stamp set, and then it has the Beach Day dies. So all of these are items that were previously available and continue to be available. So we'll have these products at least for another year. And I love the way they've displayed them like this and called them the Encore, because then I know in the Encore section, those are products that have been here for a while, and under the bundle section, all of these are new this year. And as you see, we have quite a few items that they did bring back. So I think this is a great way to display them. And now we move on to our reversible stamps. And the nice thing about a reversible stamp is, just as the name says, you can stamp one side, which, for instance, on this turtle, let me pull this up so you can see how the turtle's body has texture on it. Well, one side of the stamp has the texture. The other side is the smooth side, so that fills in and gives you the main body. So we have those featured down here, and Stampin' Up calls it double play, and they talk about that you stamp, you flip, you stamp again. Of course, we have the stamping mist so that you can clean that ink off before you flip and attach it to your block. As well, on this page, Stampin' Up has listed all of the clear blocks that are available. You can buy those individually, or if you don't have clear blocks and want to order them as a bundle, they do offer a discount on that as well of 10%. And now we're getting into a section that they have labeled Picture Perfect, and these are image-only stamps, because image-only stamps are great because they do add versatility to your project. You can use that. You can just stamp that image on and add a little. You could add something from the another stamp set on top, or you could just leave that and add a sentiment. Very simple. Just keep it very simple. And then, of course, they have listed a few stamp sets that are available for purchase that are a nice complement to these. Although these are stamp sets, be sure to look closely at all of these on the side so that you know that those sentiment only stamp sets are available for use. Plus, there's always the online store. So go to the online store and look at the exclusives there, because they have items that complement it as well. The next section is the two-step stamping, and that's where you stamp an outline and then you stamp the detailed image in, as they've done with this car and with the balloons. And there again, it's a learning tool because Stampin' Up! Explains the format that you do. And of course, up here we have the Happy Labels Pick a Punch, which is still available. And there again, they're featuring a couple more of the two-step stamps. And we have additional stamps that they call It's Easy to Change a Scene. So Stampin' Up! There again is showing you different ways to use the stamp set here. And now we have our section with all of the background stamps, which they put all of them at the bottom, and they've also show you the large block that works best with these large stamps. And these are just beautiful because, as you see, you can stamp and create any background. And of course, Stampin' Up! Honors the demonstrators who reach the $1 million sales milestone by having them come to corporate and help design a stamp set. And this highlights the $1 million sales achievers. And of course, Stampin' Up! Highlights some of their tools here, as well as storage options that they have available. And then we get into more stamps, and these are for showing appreciation. I love this big bold thank you. And just as you're going through, just like when you read a magazine, I have probably 4 or 5 cooking magazines that I subscribe to, and each month they have little tidbits. Like Southern Living, I'll be reading, and they might have a little highlight in the corner, or Good Housekeeping does it. But even the cooking magazines that I subscribe to, a lot of times they'll have little tips. Stampin' Up! Has done the same in their catalog, only it's with their products that they're highlighting. So here they've got the heartfelt hexagon punch and the paper dies. And of course, this Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. So there's just a lot of different options that they have available. So you just have to take your time and go through it. And then, of course, they have other items that could be used for your memory keeping if you do scrapbooking, and that's the alphabet a la mode dies. They showed that those are still available so that you can create names and numbers. And then the lower section of this page, they have diagrams showing, or a photo showing the Designer Series paper assortments and the 4 patterns that are in that 6x6 packet. And this is available in all of the color families, both the subtles, the brights, the regals, the neutrals, as well as the new in colors and last year's in colors as well. And then we have more stamps. And then, of course, it's time to celebrate year-round. So they're highlighting some of the stamp sets that you can use throughout the year for various celebrations. You know, from Valentine's to Christmas to Father's Day to Mother's Day and winter. And now we get into what I call the kids section, and they're calling it the craft, create really awesome, fun things. And then they've got a little note that says, with kids. My granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, loves to craft. So when she comes over, I like to pull out stamp sets that I know she would enjoy, and she likes to stamp, and then she can color them. And of course, her little sister now she loves to color. So Brooklyn is able to stamp an image for her and give it to her sister to color. So this, I think she would just be perfect for them. And then, of course, we've got items for welcoming baby and other stamp sets that are appropriate. And then Stampin' Up! Has thought of invitations this year, so they have created a save the date and you're invited with this gorgeous Chantilly lace. But they list 10 different events that you could use that for, and they show samples of using it. Plus, you'll also notice this paper look familiar? Yes, it's the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. So be sure to look through this catalog at some of the different papers, and again, pay attention to these little sections, because this paper returned and we'll have it for another year. And there's one or two other papers that I believe are in the catalog as well. And there's one right there, the Countryside Inn. And that's perfect. As you see, those blues go great with this crafting for the home. If you're a realtor or you know a realtor, I would highly recommend showing this to them, because this has home sweet home and a little diagram of either a little townhouses or a house. This would be perfect for them to stamp on a card that they give to their clients after they have purchased a home. Plus, then with this other set, they can make a little tag to add to their a little housewarming gift. Then we get into a section called Metallics, Magic, and here Stampin' Up! Is highlighting all of the beautiful metallic products that are available for purchase, including, I'm excited about this, the little metallic enamel effects where you can create your own embellishments. And then, of course, the ribbons. So this showcases all of the ribbons that are now available. Next, we have the embellishments that are all in one place for you to find them. We get into a page of adhesives. And of course, you will see here, Stampin' Up! Is which adhesive is best for my product, or excuse me, for my project. Here you'll see they have little diagrams, so a cardstock, ribbon, embellishment, die cut, or 3D project. They have put those icons with each of the different adhesives. I think that's wonderful, because that is a question that I do get asked on occasion. What's the best adhesive to use? And this is a great reference. Then on the watercoloring, Stampin' Up! Goes into the different watercolor techniques, talks about the products that you will need, also gives you tips on how to do that, and it also lists the watercolor must-haves. And along here, you'll see they've listed some of the products. And then, of course, there's fun with interactive cards and fun folds. So Stampin' Up! Highlights what you will need. And here we have the little slider card. And there again, another stamp set with huge font printed sentiments, which is always really nice. And then, of course, shaker cards. So they go into the different things like window sheets and then loose embellishments. But they also tell you how to use a punch or a die to make the little elements to put into your shaker cards. And then, of course, we have layering, using different layering techniques and masking. And then, of course, adding texture, and whether it's with embossing and embossing powders, using the embossing paste, or using embossing folders. All of these three methods add texture to your product, to your projects, excuse me. I'm getting tongue twisted here. But as you see, the catalog is just gorgeous and gives you lots of tips and how to use the different products in here. We get into blending. Stampin' Up! Has the blends, their stamping blends. And then, of course, they have their marker collection that they've put down here at the bottom. And then something new that they added to the catalog, which I just think is wonderful, is it's called Color Theory. And this gets into the color wheel and how to use a color wheel. And it talks about the different, uses. Example, we've all heard of monochromatic or complementary. But here they have listed and put on the color wheel all of the different Stampin' Up! Colors that are in this catalog. So this, would really help you with your color selection. And speaking of color, now we get into the different color collections that Stampin' Up! Has. And of course, we already touched on the fact that they have subtles, brights, neutrals, and regals, but Stampin' Up! Every 2 years comes out with a new in color. So this year, the new in colors are Petal Pink. So we have Petal Pink. We have Peach Pie. Let me turn to that page. So here we have the subtles. Down at the bottom, they list in each color collection, ink pads, markers, if you want to buy them by family or if you want to order them individually. So let me flick over, and here they have them each. But here we have the in colors for this year. So there again, we have the Petal Pretty in Pink. We have Peach Pie. We have Shy Shamrock. That's a tongue twister too. We have Summer Splash and Petunia Pop. So really bright, cheerful colors. And of course, we still have the colors that were available from last year. One other thing that I want to make note of is the basics. And Stampin' Up! This year has added a new color to the basics. We have our basic white, basic vanilla, basic black. Now we have basic beige. And I think I said basic vanilla. It's very vanilla. But now we've added basic beige so that we have that in cardstock as well as stamping ink pads. So be sure to take note of that, because that's a great neutral color or basic color that can be used with a lot of different creations. And last but not least, the very back is the index, and they've categorized each of the products so that if you need to find punches, you can just look at punches and turn to those pages. Same, they've listed all the stamp sets, paper, etc. And then, not to be forgotten, on the next to the by the back cover is the stamp set that falls under the angel policy. So if you sell your products, Stampin' Up! Requires that you use a stamp with the copyright on that. Well, this is Margaret Knight. I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough of this new catalog and will enjoy some of the new products that are available. If you, as I said at the beginning of this video, if you need a catalog, just leave me a comment and I'll reach out to you. But I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough and are as excited as I am about all of these new products. And I hope you love this new design. I love it. I think it's such a valuable tool to have. So enjoy the rest of your day.